Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be doing a kind of review, well, a course review for the Christmas 2017, which actually is titled, instead of obviously Xmas 2017 or Winter 2017 or Christmas 2017, it's called The Invasion Before Christmas. Not against that title at all. I actually think it suits the title. It's a lot better. And yeah, so first of all, the splash screen. I've got to address the splash screen. I like the splash screen, to be fair. I think it's pretty cool, actually. It's kind of got that freaky element to it, but it's also got that very Christmas theme as well. Now, in terms of coming off my thoughts from the teaser, because I had a lot of kind of very on the fence, kind of worried thoughts on the teaser. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This has kind of surprised me a little bit. I'm not going to say this is a great event. It's not an amazing event, but I do think this event has potential to be pretty good. And I think it wraps up 2017 quite nicely, in my opinion. I don't think this is an amazing event, but I do think it is pretty good. Not mediocre. It is pretty good. It's just not amazing. So yeah, the splash screen. I just want to mention, I really like what they're going with as the tappable characters. Now, I sometimes disagree that tappable characters are needed. In this one, I like what they've gone for. The Funzos without the skin, that's perfect. I'm kind of annoyed that they never gave us that version of the Funzo, like the one with just out all the skin and stuff, that creepy, ugly, horrible one. And they're actually giving us it now, and we'll probably get it as an NPC after this event, hopefully. So that will be really cool. But I'm glad that they're the tappable character in a lot of ways, because it's just, it's just really cool to have them be implemented again. And of course, this entire... If we move on to the act structure, as you can see, we've got the sort of traditional act structure. However, there is no 3 acts. There's only 2 acts this time, just like they gave us last year. To be fair, I get this. To be fair, Winter really isn't as there isn't as much content there for Winter as there is for Halloween, so I understand why they only do 2 acts. In some ways, I actually prefer it to them doing 3 acts, because I'd rather them just do 2 acts, give us loads of content, instead of just trying to stretch it out and making and just making it uncohesive and all over the place. I like how they've stuck with their theme. I like how they've kind of brought it all together. That's what I want, and if that means that we only get 2 acts, I'm completely okay with that. I know I bitched about it last year, but now that I kind of gathered my thoughts, I understand why they didn't win in 2016. I think the only anger I really had for Winter 2016 was, of course, the lack of Christmas theme was a problem. But this one doesn't lack a Christmas theme. There's a few things which do kind of concern me about it, but I'll get onto them in a minute. But in terms of the act structure, story overall, so far, in terms of Act 1 story and dialogue, has been pretty good. I've been very happy with it. It's been interesting, actually, and a very nice look on Christmas, I guess. But there's a few things in there, mainly against, the Jesus side of it and the Christianity side of it. I just feel like there's a little bit of teasing there, and I'm not completely for it, and I'll get onto this when I get onto the character categories, because one of the character categories, I don't know if it's meant to be what I think it's meant to be, but it's kind of annoying to me a little bit, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Moving on. So like I say, story overall is pretty good. Moving on to the minigame. Now, the minigame is interesting to me, because at first I was like, what the hell is this? What are they doing? What are they trying to actually achieve here with this minigame? But I actually really, really like this, and I think it's probably one of the best minigames we've got. So, of course, basically, you defend the Simpsons house with this laser thing, and you're just shooting these Funzos, which have, like on propeller-like things, and they're coming towards your house. You just tap them. We have similar minigames. You just basically just tap them as all. Nothing too hard, and it is relatively easy. But I really like what they do with this one, is because this leads into actually unlocking a mystery box reward. So you basically have these mystery box awards, and I've only done it once so far, so I can't say exactly how we're getting and what prizes we'll be going to get. And of course, I won ice. So I won 5 things at ice, which is a new tile, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the boxes as a whole, at first I was really excited about them. Now, thinking about it a little bit, I'm thinking this could be problematic, because it is quite a few. You have to do, I think it's 5. You've got to defeat them 5 times to actually get a box, and then in that box you have a chance of getting stuff that you might already have. So I'm skeptical on the boxes. It depends if what from the content I saw in there, there was a few little houses, like a few little decorations and some ice. That's all that appeared to be was in there anyway. So if it generally is just that, fine. I am completely cool with that, because it doesn't look like it's anything. If they start putting characters in there, and if they start putting like proper buildings in there, that's when I start to get annoyed, because it's like stuff that people really, really want, and you're making them grind out stuff or buy donuts with the slight chance that they might not even get that item that they want. That kind of annoys me when they do that. But if it's just for decorations, then I'm fine with that. But if they start putting a character in that mystery box, I'm going to be completely against it. Or if they put like a really cool looking building, if they put like a shitty little building I don't really care about, then go for it. I'll get it eventually anyway. But in terms of like really cool characters, I get it, because it's very frustrating when you got to imagine players who don't hack and don't have a lot of donuts. They get one of these mystery boxes, they're gonna want the coolest prize, and if you keep all the prizes very mediocre, that's fine, because they're not going to be that bothered if there's like a crappy little house thing that they don't get. So that's why I'm okay so far with the mystery box, but I'm having a weird feeling that maybe in Act 2 there'll be like different items in the mystery box, and I'm feeling that they might throw a character in there. Haven't seen that on the wiki yet, because it's not really been properly updated, but if they do that, I might actually make, well, I won't make a separate video, but that will be a concern. Anyway, moving on to, speaking of the ice, I've mentioned it a few times, a new tile we've got actually is, of course, the ice. So this is interesting, because we're only allowed so many of the ice. Of course, you unlock it through the mystery box, so I guess you can just grind the load and you get a load out, and then you can scatter them around your town, I guess, which is really cool. Just one thing I want to quickly mention before I forget, there's a new scratch card, a Christmas scratch card that's costs $4.99. Not sure what it is in dollars or euros, but it does cost $4.99 in sterling. So that's interesting, a brand new thing. I don't know what the rewards are for that, but I'm just thought I'd quickly mention that. But yeah, the ice was also a cool thing. Anyway, moving on to the store. One of the things in the store, and this relates back to the mystery boxes, you can actually buy the wrapping paper, which allows you to do the minigame, play the minigame to earn those mystery boxes. So yeah, you can actually buy that in the store. There's a few other things in the store. A very interesting thing is they've actually added extensions to the Christmas monorail station, because of course when they first added it, they just kind of threw it in there, and it was just you know, you couldn't do anything with it. There was no stations for it. You just placed it and that was it. Not stations, extensions. But now they've given us a bunch of extensions for like whatever donuts, as you can see on the screen. I don't know. It just felt a bit random to me. I'm grateful, I guess, but I actually don't even like the extensions for the monorail. I don't actually really understand. There's only really one way that you can do it, and it looks cool. And I won't want to build in a way where you're, you know, if I want to build I want to build my monorail station how I want to build it. So these extension things kind of annoy me a little bit. It's the same thing with the mansions. Like, I hate the mansions in Springfield Heights. It just annoys me, the idea that you have to build these buildings. Just give me the building as one big thing so I can place it. I don't want the hassle of doing that personally. It really gets on my nerves that when they do that personally. But that's why I'm not a massive fan of the monorail stations, any of them. But whatever. That they've just kind of thrown that in. So that's the store. Anyway, moving on, crafting. Crafting. I feel like this is going to be like a trend now that they're going to do, and I hope they don't do it. Is what they seem to do with the crafting is they are throwing in a bunch of old items and mixing some new ones in there. Granted, there's way more new items in this crafting than there was in Halloween's crafting, but it still annoys me when they just throw crappy old shit that we've already got, and most people probably already got, because even the new play, like, it's only going to be the players who started playing sometime you know, this year, because everyone else has already got this stuff, or at least got some of this stuff. So it annoys me when they kind of keep throwing this stuff and add nothing new to the crafting. Either just keep the crafting, like, I think that they should keep that stuff in the store personally, so that, like, the lamppost and stuff, because the lamppost and all that, and the little eggnog little stand thing, they used to just be in the store, and they used to just cost cash. I don't understand why they can't just be in there and just be cash. It just seems like another thing that they're trying to kind of just to stretch out the crafting, I guess. And then we'll move on to the characters. So the characters is probably going to take a large-ish portion. So we'll just be talking about the new additions. So if you look in your aliens category, and he's in the stores now, you can get this kind of Jesus version of a Rigelian. He's like the Rigelian's Jesus, I guess. Kind of coolish character, you get him with the kind of manger building. I don't know. Okay, I don't really recognize him from any episode. I don't know if he actually is from an episode. I've not seen him before anyway. This might be a completely tapped out creation, or maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know if it is. To be honest, it doesn't really interest me that much. It's kind of funny, I guess, but that's all it really is. I was kind of hoping they would add Shirak the Preparer, who of course was one of the Rogilians who was on their thing. I don't know. And I'll talk about the theme in a minute, because the theme is a big thing, but I'll talk about it at the end, where I'll talk about the idea of bringing in this kind of Halloweenish kind of aspect to it. But yeah, there's the alien thing. Then there's of course the winter 2017. So in this we've got really interesting things. So first of all we have, and I forget her name, but this is Mr. Burns' cousin essentially. But he actually married her as well. I forget her name. I'm not gonna. I feel like it might be Ling or something, but I don't know if it is Ling. But basically this is like Mr. Burns' was his wife for a bit, and then she passed away, but it's also his cousin. Cool. I don't really know how they're relating it to this update. Well, I can kind of take a guess because I'm pretty sure she's a Buddhist, so I can take a guess to how they're relating this to this thingy. Also, sorry, another thing I just mentioned with the crafting, real quick. The crafting, actually, the building that we do the crafting in is actually Jesus's carpeting shop or something, or is like a Jesus' carpeting thing or whatever. That I kind of like that idea, actually. That's really cool. But anyway, the second character is actually a double character, and this really annoys me. Now they're called like the Elf Helpers or something like that, or Elf Helpers or something like that. But this is actually Jaffe and Lewis, who are two characters who've been in The Simpsons since the premiere. So these two characters, and this really, really annoys me, and this is something that pisses me off. They kind of ruins it a little bit. Why not just add both of the characters? I'm not even against them combining the two characters. Like, that's fine. But it's the fact that they've labelled them like little elf helpers. Like, that really annoys me. Why? It's Lewis and Jaffe, or Jaffe and Lewis. Just call them what they are. And it's going to probably forever annoy me, because that means that's kind of confirmed to us that they're not going to give us Lewis and Jaffe now as proper separate characters. I mean, because it would be weird if they gave us those two as. And to me, I don't even recall them ever being like really close friends. I thought Wendell and Lewis were friends. I didn't think Jaffe and Lewis were friends. So to me, this is just, I don't even know. I'm completely against combining. Actually, no, I'm not completely against combining them. I'm just against them kind of labeling them how they've labeled them. And I just feel like, it's like, we kind of now have Lewis and Jaffe, but do we really? I don't know. But so that's kind of annoyed me. And then we've got the Otto conductor. That's like the conductor costume for the Polar Express. That's kind of cool. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. I saw that as a potential costume. I just never really thought to mention it. But now you think about it, yeah, I guess. We've got Elf Lisa. Honestly, it's like a deal, 100 donuts. You get Elf Lisa and Elf Bart. Personally, doesn't fucking do anything for... Sorry, swearing. Doesn't really do anything for me. I think they're just boring and bland costumes. None of their tasks were particularly exciting. It just felt like just kind of some random shit they threw in, and to me it just doesn't really seem good. And same with Elf Bart. If we move along here. So yeah, there's Elf Bart as well. Again, same for Elf Lisa. Just to me, pointless. We have Ralph covered in Christmas decorations. That could be interesting. Looks kind of cool and funny. Don't really have any comment on this. And then we have both Santa Kodos and Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus Kodos and Santa Kang. I actually really like these costumes, because I think, I don't know, there's something about it that it really works with the theme that they're going for. So to me, these two costumes, completely fine with. I actually kind of like them. I don't think they're amazing, but I think that they're needed to kind of construct this update. And I like how Kang and Kodos, or mainly Kang, is running this update, because I like it when they have a strong leader for the update. Like, it's not just like a bunch of characters. Like, even if it's an old character that we've already got, I'm fine with that. It could be a new character. I prefer it when it's a new character, like when Norbert Van Houten sort of ran the Destination Springfield event, because personally Norbert Van Houten was the reason that event was so well constructed, is because it was all centered around him in a way. So I'm glad that they've kind of picked the kind of Santa Kang as the sort of central theme. So I'm glad about that. Moving on, and this is the bit where I'm kind of a bit skeptical on. So they've given us this other category, which is called the BS League, and I don't know, it just to me, like, yes, we all know that Santa's not real, but they put Jesus in this category, so it kind of annoys me. So first of all, the BS League is here, of course. First of all, we have Vishnu. There, of course, is a Hindu god, pretty cool. That we'll be getting him. We've got Santa Claus. There, we got who I think is Buddha. I'm pretty sure that is Buddha, like Simpsons version of Buddha. Then there's Jack Frost. I'm pretty sure that's Jack Frost, which is pretty cool. Then moving along, if you scroll along, yeah, there's of course Jesus, and then there's some kind of, I don't even know what that is. Just some a costume for Hibbert. I don't know if it's Jewish or what. Is it Jewish or is it some sort of African religion? I'm not too sure. Beats me, whatever the hell that is. Someone inform me. This kind of annoys me a little bit. The fact they've called it the BS League. I mean, I'm not that bothered really, but it just it's just why call it that really? You just call it like the like Divinely or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of it's probably nothing really, but it just kind of annoys me a little bit. It feels like they're just trying to poke fun at people's religious beliefs. It just kind of annoys me. You can be critical towards. I say that though, but I'm very against not being critical of religious beliefs though. So to me, whatever, that's fine. I'm just saying I prefer if it wasn't called the BS League personally, but it's not something I'm going to get too wound up about. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention real quick before I go into buildings is this decoration skin. So we got this decoration skin for Kodos. This is like the Rajuline Queen. Sorry, yeah, this is a skin for the Rajuline Queen. That's pretty cool. So yeah, and then finally, I'll just quickly go over the buildings real quick because we'll just kind of quickly have a quick look at the buildings and decorations that you can get so far. So I'm not really going to describe them, but there's a lot of things there. If you can see, it's like there's the North Pole thing, the Rajuline North Pole. So the Simpsons gingerbread man house. There's all these laser things. There's the manger. There's the lake, the gingerbread house, that kind of stuff, and some of the craftable stuff that you can get there. The guards and all that, and there's the carpenter shop, and there's the spaceship, which we of course got before, and a few other things like the slide and stuff. Just some buildings and decorations that you can just look at for a bit and view. So yeah, because I don't really want to go describe and review each and every one decoration and building, because I'll be here forever. This video is already pretty long. But anyway, they're kind of my general thoughts. Now, just quickly, briefly talk about the theme, because I'm going into 20 minutes here, and I don't really want it to go that long. But the theme, I want to hate personally. Personally, I want to hate it, but I don't. I kind of like it, and I think some people will disagree with me on this, but I think the theme really does work. I would prefer it if it was a more sort of traditional Christmas, but in a lot of ways they've kind of brought a lot of the traditionalism, and then they've added in a bunch of silly stuff with the aliens and stuff, which I like. I like what they're doing. It's kind of like a remix almost, but they've kind of still got that core Christmas kind of theme, which they lacked in the Winter 2016 update. And that was the biggest problem with the Winter 2016 update, is it wasn't anything to do with Christmas. It was nothing to do with this Christmas. This actually has something really to do with Christmas, and I'm glad that they are adding Santa Claus in as well, because that's a character that really should have been added in 2012, to be honest. But yeah, so that's pretty much all my thoughts. I like the theme personally. There's a few things in there which kind of annoy me. The combination of Jaffe and Lewis kind of annoys me. The BS League thing is a little bit of a pet peeve. Not pet peeve, but you know what I mean. Yeah, there's little things here and there which could tweak it, and it would be a perfect event. But it's not far off one of the it's not far off one of the better events that we've got this year. It definitely is better than it succeeds. It succeeds a few events, in my opinion. It succeeds the Time Traveling Toast for definite. Definitely succeeds Halloween as well, in my opinion. From what I can tell so far, and I'm honest about that. I genuinely think that this is a pretty decent update. It's just not. It's not quite Destination Springfield. It's not quite Homapalooza. I think Homapalooza and Destination Springfield for me are just a little bit more cohesive, a little more. I just preferred them more, but. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. There's nothing really much more I have to say. Really pleased so far with this update. I'm hoping it goes all well though. I will be doing, I guess I'll probably do my I don't know when I'm going to do my thoughts so far video. That's an interesting thing. When do I do my thoughts so far? Because I usually do it when Act 2 gets released, but there's not going to be an Act 3, so I feel like, tell you what, I will do it as soon as Act 2 gets released and I get all the stuff for Act 2. I'll do my how's it so far, because there'll still be things in the store that I'll need to unlock that will come later. I'll do it as soon as Act 2 comes out, because then it will be like also a little mini review for Act 2. And yeah, and then I'll probably do my content list nearer to the end. Obviously, this is going to be a shorter event than the normal big event. It's kind of like a 3/4 a 3/4 event. We have a half event, like a mini event, or a half event, a full event, and this is like a 3/4 event. So yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.